How we prepare our animals for the upcoming incredibly low temperatures, in addition to possibly record-setting amounts of lake effect snow. My husband has been busting his tail all morning trying to get things ready. And as of right now, they are not saying the estimated amount that we may be getting, but the county that we reside in is one of them that may get extremely heavy bands of lake effect snow. Right now, the temperature is still kind of warm out. It's in this weird, like almost half melting phase. And we've gotten, I've mentioned it, but if this is the first time one of my videos have popped across your page, we've had a lot of lake effect snow over the last few weeks off and on, amounting in at least 2 to 3 feet. There was one morning this week before school, I came trudging down to the barn to take care of the animals before I went to work. I think it was Wednesday. And the snow amount was literally over my boots. I wish I had put my snow pants on, because by the time I got back up there, the inside of my boots had snow caked around the inside of them, and my jeans were soaked. So a lot of that snow right now is settling. I made a video showing the fluffy lake effect snow. Well, when that accumulates, it's not incredibly packed down because itself is not very heavy. It's not dense. So over time, as it starts to warm up, it does start to compact. So that's going to create a problem when it comes to the lake effect snow we are getting now. So if people don't clear their driveways or make things accessible, then the amount that we're getting will literally make it impossible to move your snow with your typical snowblower. Unless you're in the business of replacing shear pins, which we are not. Most of the snow removal occurs with my pickup truck that we've put a plow onto in addition to the tractor. He uses snow blowers for the area from the house to the barn, like the walking areas that I would be traversing. Anyway, what have we done for our animals? So the cows reside in here, and I've mentioned before why my beef cows have a barn and why it is critical for me to make sure that all of my cows fit in this barn during the winter, because we get this massive amount of lake effect snow. And although out west they can keep cows outside without barns, they do get heavy snows, we have natural disasters, and they lose massive amounts of cows. Well, if I didn't have a barn, that would happen once every 4 years probably. The last few years have been pretty mild when it comes to snowfall, but this year has been the worst year since probably 2021. So we completely cleaned out this entire barn. We do not operate this as a bedded pack as it is. It would just be too disgusting and gross. The cows can keep themselves warm. It's not a concern with retaining heat in this barn. This door is usually open all the time. I don't even know if we can shut this door anymore. And we have these flaps to kind of help block the wind. Although when it gets super cold, we will shut this gate to hold those things into place, and it kind of cuts down on the wind. Typically, we will leave this door on the far end open because we do not have ventilation fans. However, because we are expecting cold temperatures overnight, this is now closed, and it will remain closed until the temperatures come back up. We are getting definitely below zero. But in addition to the snow, it is not going to be a fun time. When I say that the cows are able to keep themselves warm, we do not feed concentrated diets. We only feed dry hay or baleage bales, which are wrapped wet and then they ferment, and we will feed them out as long as they aren't frozen. But as the rumen digests the hay, that really helps to keep their body warmer. So we're not concerned about it. As of right now, we have not been feeding them outside, but we have done that in the past. However, because of the quantity of dry hay we have, we've been feeding them and probably will continue to feed them in front of the headlocks for a while. My husband also added loose mineral to their mineral feeder. We keep that full on a regular basis. And as I've mentioned before, I can't say enough good about these things. We have one almost identical to it except for sheep in the sheep barn. This is a heated automatic waterer, and yes, it was expensive. I think when we put this in, it was around $750. But if I had to do it, I would buy it all over again, because this has saved us so much time, so much headache, and you have to clean it, but it's not like having to maintain a water stock tank in the winter. 10 out of 10. Highly recommend those Richie waterers. And if we add another barn, I am going to put several of them in that barn. Here's my little blueprint baby from November. She still resides in front of the cows sometimes, but she does manage to get herself through the headlocks. through the cow-sized headlocks. So sometimes we'll come down here and she'll be behind the cows already eating off of mama. Come on, sweetie, it's time to go back up front. I don't like keeping her in here because I do have an intact foal and he does not love her. So we've seen him try to attack her several times. Apparently right now she would like to go and play in the snow. She is one of my babies. I made that baby with a straw and got the cow pregnant back in February, so she is my pride and joy. I still do have to put tattoos in her ears for registration and identification purposes. I don't know, maybe I'll do that this weekend, we'll see. I really have to get that done. It's easier to do it when they're smaller. She's so smart, she's waiting at the gate for me to open it for her. Or she's just very well trained. That could be it too. Time to let the girls out of the headlocks. We do that so the baby can eat. They shift and go back to eating. For the sheep, there isn't really too much that we have to do because again, they are housed inside just like the cows. With the amount of snow that we get, if we left them outside, we would have no sheep because it just would not work with the amount of snowfall that we get. So we lock them inside for the winter. They are on a bedded pack and they get loose mineral and they get hay, and that's it. That's the goal with my sheep, is to keep them as low maintenance as possible because, as all of you know, I have a very busy life and I don't have time to go through and do a whole bunch of treatments at the end of the day. The bedded pack that they are in does retain heat, and with this cold weather coming up, I am thankful that we haven't cleaned it recently and it has had a couple of weeks to build up. This is my sick sheep. She is still alive. I am still treating her. I don't really know if she's made improvements. So you can see, according to the measurement on the water, it's like half of it is buried. So we're gonna have to clean this out again within the next couple of weeks. But this retains enough heat that it keeps them warm, and there is no concern for the sheep when it gets down super cold below zero. And you can see that some of these girls are quite rotund, so they do very well on this grass hay only diet. We do have a couple of Nigerian dwarf goats in here. I don't really want them anymore, but they just live with the sheep. The chicken coop is next. My husband is going to be working on that while I put our youngest child down for a nap because he's a little crabby at 4 years old. So